Good morning.
Because your brain is like a servo mechanism in a bomb, as an example.
I love it. Morning motivation.
Servo mechanism. It knows what the target is, and when the target moves, it follows it.
Absolutely.
Well, your brain is very
How you
similar.
been?
You decide exactly
Amazing.
what you want. You start picking up
Super fired.
Can you hear what I'm doing? You can hear this, right? I'm sorry.
I hear some morning motivation. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
I love
always.
it. Love it. That's how
Fall
you
asleep
start
with
the
it
day.
too.
Good morning, John. How you doing? Can you hear us, John?
Portion of your brain that is responsible for one thing. That is screening out.
Might be plugged in. I don't know.
What's that?
I was seeing if John could hear us. Can you hear us, John?
I can.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
John, I don't know if you've ever met Mary before.
I don't think so.
Elizabeth. This is John. We call her Mary. Keto Mama May. Elizabeth. Yeah.
Good
Alias.
to meet
You
you.
gotta have alias. You're the keto cartel. You gotta have alias. How you doing, John?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thanks. Loved your video, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome.
It's been a blessing to be able to do that, and we're just going to try to ramp that up and continue to give just amazing experiences, I mean, it's truly what this whole thing is about. It's about each and every one of us coming together with an experience and sharing that experience. And truly blessed to have everybody jumping on and sharing that experience. It's going to go a long way, it really will. It's going to touch many, many lives. Had Denise on last night. She did amazing.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, wow. You never know. You never know, and it's like you think I never assume, but you just never know what people have gone through, when the walls come down, everything comes out, and
Absolutely.
it's a nice thing. It's a
Yeah.
nice thing.
And it's beautiful because each time I do an interview or I bring somebody on,
Right.
it seems like even though I've talked to them before in the past, sometimes a little bit more comes out. A little bit more comes out, I think this is human nature and we try to, hold some things back, but in reality, like a little more needs to come out.
Yes.
A little more needs to come out. That's that healing process, I believe,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's been awesome. I think it's going to be great for everybody that's sharing. And I think it's going to be great for everybody gets to listen to the sharing. But truthfully, like, there's just power in sharing.
Absolutely.
Power in sharing your story. For others, but for you too. It's strictly, internal as much as it's external.
Absolutely. We do what we do because we want to. We forget sometimes when it's reciprocated. It's kind of weird, It's just, you don't do it for that reason, but it's nice to hear. It really is.
Absolutely, for sure. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to say a little prayer this morning, really fast.
Amen.
If you guys don't mind. So, dear Heavenly Father, we just ask that you continue to lead us in the right direction. We continue that you ask to keep each and every one of us safe. We continue to ask for the armor that you continue to give us each and every day to fight the battles that we fight. We also ask that you put the ones in front of us that need us the most. We ask that you continue to allow us to lead with a servant mentality. Allow us to help build your kingdom. Allow us to show people that, we can be a beacon of light in their lives. Through us, you will work. And as you work, you will open up people's eyes and allow them to understand that you are the Alpha, you are the Omega, you are the beginning, you are the the sooner that they realize that, the sooner that they see that, the sooner that peace will come over in their heart. People that are going through anxiety right now, we just ask that you watch over them and bless them and have them understand that be anxious for nothing. And this is all in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Nice.
Hey, there's a lot of background noise.
That's probably me. I'm sorry. I listen to motivational things every morning. Every morning.
There's
Is it gone now?
Yeah.
Ah, that's
Okay.
better. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, right.
Who were you listening to?
Tony Robbins, Stop Thinking That I Can't Do It.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a good one. One of my other favorites is the one with the Greatest Motivation Audio with T.D. Jakes, Les Brown, and Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
They're awesome. There's so many of them. There's so many of them.
There
and
is.
I just randomly go through it, and the one that hits home, the one that gets my attention is the one I play. So.
Yeah. A lot of times I wake up, I just play it no matter what. Like if it's there, I play it. Like this morning, it was funny. I went in my closet because I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and I have these cards in there, and I have some prayer cards, some kindness cards, and things like that. And I'm just gonna start sending some things out because I've been thinking about it. I just haven't done it. So the first thing that I turn over is is today's prayer. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." And I'm like, oh, simple. And then seconds later, and I didn't read it out loud or anything because sometimes I think my phone is listening to exactly what I'm saying, And sometimes I come across like, what? I just read that to myself.
Right.
And then my Bible verse app comes out, and it literally says, "Be still, be quiet." That's right behind
I love that. I love that. I love that.
A stranger to most of us to discover silence. And I was just like, be still and know that I'm God. I was like, you can't make this stuff up, You
can't get any more validated. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I say that all the time. I like being in silence.
Yeah.
Just, man.
Definitely.
It does something to you. It does something to you.
It really, really does, for sure. I'm enjoying these mornings, and I appreciate you guys, plugging in, checking in, and coming on. And truthfully, it's just to kind of get to know each other a little bit better, and also, have some accountability, something to check into in the morning, and also to share some victories. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a prove it victory or a ketone or a sale victory. It could be anything. I think what you posted yesterday was a tremendous victory. Your two girls there, and you know what I mean. That's
awesome.
Being able to spend that time with them and having that week off and everything that we're going through. When you put that out there, it's like people need to understand that that's the time for this. You know what I mean? That's the time to re-engage, reconnect. I really, got on last night at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and just did like an hour and a half live. And it wasn't about anything. It was just to go on and make positivity louder. And
absolutely.
And I believe that people need to understand, like, this is reset time, right? Like, we're all in a reset. We're all kind of, out of our daily routines. And, my thing was like, who's still up? Who's out of their routine? Who's not going to bed when they normally go to bed? Who's not waking up when they normally wake up? So that's what I did last night. And it ended up being an hour and a half. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that's happened for an hour and a half to nobody. I mean, there's a lot of people jumping on, but, I'm just like.
You said to nobody.
I mean, I understand that I'm talking to a whole audience, but it's like, I was like, hey, how about, we do this? Because I had a lot of people engaging on comments. I'm like, hey, who would be up to doing a Zoom platform of this where we all come on and, not have anything specific to talk about, just kind of come on and add some value to each other, right? Like add a positive place. And I mentioned just, seeing my, my vision board right here. Like, why don't we all jump on and do some vision boards virtually together, And I mentioned that, I've been walking past this thing for a long time. And sometimes we just walk past it, and we don't notice it. And I'm like, you know what? I took it from the corner the other day where it was, and I stuck it right here in front of me. Because, without a vision, people.
No direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, like, this was like something that just came to my mind. And we also have a lot of great signs around here, and you can't make everybody happy if you're not happy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything from we're grateful, blessed. And I'm like, sometimes we take those things for granted. We walk past them. Do we ever take a moment to be still? Right? Like be still and know that I'm God. Like, do we ever take that moment to be still and just take things in? And I think that's a huge process. to where we're at. But also in this morning plugins, I definitely would like to do the victories and what people could share, and then also just kind of like have an outcome for that day for some people. Like, what would your outcome be? Like, what are you looking to get done today? That's something I never really did in the past, and it's something that's helped me move forward a little bit and get some things done. Because I think sometimes we go through the day and we wake up and maybe we have a direction that we're going, but we really don't know what the outcome's going to be. And that's kind of how this plug into positivity started. It's like, hey, let's plug in and get together and just let's have positive vibes. But it started to turn. I'm like, well, we need an outcome, right? Like, we need something to come out of this call. It can't just be, hey, we plug in every day for no reason, right?
Right.
So that's where I plugged in and said, you know what, the outcome should be, we need an outcome. So what's your outcome for the days? And then, I mean, some of us are doing great and some of us have those outcomes set. Some of us are going, but that's the value you have. Like, if you got that going 100% for you and you like got that dialed in, share it with everybody else. Tell us how you're coming up with those outcomes. Tell us how you're meeting those outcomes. Because right now it's about uniting together, coming together and just lifting everything up for the glory of God and helping one another.
And what you said, if I could say something really quick,
Really?
I don't have a vision board. The way I think things is different. I don't put the big house. I don't do that stuff. So my visions are more of a prayer. So what I do is I have vision prayers that I say every day, twice a day, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the evening. And I write down what I would like to do, with how I would love to pay things forward and things like that. It's more of a gratitude prayer, and praying for abundance. That's my version of it. And so I do this every single day. And I didn't come up with it myself. Some lovely lady messaged me while I was in California visiting my family back in November, just before Thanksgiving and right before December. She told me about the vision board, and I said, that's not my thing. I don't like that. And she says, well, no, do a prayer vision board. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's just write what you pray for and pray every single day, twice. And she told me something about the 8 o'clock hour. I wish I could find where she said it's a meaningful time of day.
Mm-hmm.
And, Kim said it's when he was in the garden praying before he was arrested and taken in.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, the more people that know about it, when more than one person prays upon the same thing or prays for you at the same time, magic happens, And so this is what I've been doing since, the week after Thanksgiving, consistently. I have timers on my phone, 8 a.m., 8 p.m., and that's what I do. And that's just it. And I've seen I'm already checking things off as they've been happening. And so some obviously will take longer. I'm in no rush. It's going to happen in God's time. It's not going to happen in mine, but that's what I've been doing. No matter where I'm at, if I don't have this particular notepad with me, it's screenshotted on my phone. So I'll pull out the phone. I pretty much have it memorized, and that's what I do. So an option for a vision board, I have a prayer board, and so that's what I do.
I love that, and that's awesome. And I would continue to definitely do that. And sometimes though, like, I was never a vision board person either. You know that about me. Like, I'm not the big house, big nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I have a hard time receiving those kind of things. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? I am. But I would say this, after doing a couple of them, like the first one I did, it was just there. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was cutting out because I didn't have none. I didn't even want anything. Right? I mean, I don't know. I just want to help people, right? And we all fall, a lot of us especially, that are very empathetic, right? That want better for others. But then I did the second one, and then and sometimes I feel like sometimes we have to do the things that are outside our comfort zones that we don't like to do, or that we don't really set our minds on, because it helps us grow, So I think like being able to pull this one out, which I never did with the first board. Like, it was just wherever it was. Like, actually the other day I found it in the garage, like shoved up underneath a bunch of stuff, you know?
no.
And I'm like, well, there you go. That's a learning curve. And then, with this one, I put it out and it was stuck in the corner. So now I brought it out so I could see it a little bit more. And I don't think it's necessarily about, the helicopter that's on there, the Tesla that's on there, those visions. Sure, those are things, right? But I really think it's just about the process of doing it, right? The process of getting in and doing it. And I love the prayer board thing, and I'm actually probably going to implement that, and I'd love you to share a little bit more with me on how you do that and what you do. But I even think the prayer board portion, putting it on, if we come on and do it and we do a Zoom or live about it, like make one, but make it more towards prayer too, right? Like make the board, physically making the board instead of just praying for it, but then it's there visually to see it and pray for it every day too, right? So, I think that's very powerful. JP, good morning. Thanks for jumping on.
Going on? Yep. Running a little bit late. Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. You missed the prayer, but that's no problem. I prayed for you that you would make it here this morning, and look, you're here. So
Look there. Boom.
okay. So I just wanted to, I don't know if you've ever met Mary. Mary, this is JP.
What's up?
Hey, JP.
How's it
JP.
going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Film editing sometimes when you see us do
Wow.
ends. JP's our guy on that end. Mary's been an amazing blessing in our community. 2 years now she's been in, and listen, we're all here for a purpose. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Love hearing those birds wherever they're coming from.
That would be me.
It's
I try to, I try to get out of the house if I'm getting on something early. Otherwise, I wake up my son, and then now he's up, and it's harder to get work done. So I just step outside and do my thing, and then when I get back, hopefully he's still sleeping.
Yeah, I will share one more
Nice.
powerful thing on that. Like she just said, love those birds, and
Oh yeah.
and I have my gratitude book that I write in every morning, and like I say, you can't make this stuff up. With the prayer card I pulled out, what came up on here, I said, what I'm grateful for today is all God's creatures, animals, birds, etc.
Look at that. Prophetic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When I
I
say
know, but you've been validated 3 times already. That's awesome.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Here, I'll try to get a shot of one in a minute when I get over here.
Oh my goodness.
The greatest thing with that is you guys also always hear me say, and I say it a lot, and I usually leave my Zooms and lives and things like that with it, like your presence matters, right?
Yeah.
Like that your presence matters. Mary, you being here this morning matters because you mentioned what you heard from JP. JP's presence matters because he had the birds in the background, right? So like everything resonates. And when I say that, I think people take it lightly when I say your presence matters. Truthfully, wherever you're at, you have the power to change somebody's day, their minute, their life.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't realize that. They just go through each day thinking, well, I'm here and I'm just going to go through my day. And no, you don't know how your day can change somebody else's minute.
Right. It's never about us. Never about us.
There's some
Never about
ducks.
us.
Looking at a bird.
Ducks. Oh no.
There's a duck. They're the ones making that noise, but I see some ducks. That is a
There's a
bird.
bird. There's a bird.
There's a bird. There you go.
There you
I love it.
That's where I like to walk in the mornings or in the day. Walk around this lake thingy.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
you can't make this stuff up. That's amazing. So yesterday, I have a challenge out there for anybody just to get me on as many calls as possible. It's going good. John, Jennifer reached out to me last night, and I got on a Zoom with her like around midnight. I was going to call you, but I'm like, I don't know, it's midnight. But then I was thinking, well, it's only 11 o'clock there to jump on with us. But it was awesome because she reached out and she's like, look, everything's going great. I'm super fired up. And, but I just had a couple questions and if you could give me some coaching on it. And like, she's going to be a rock star, man. She knows
Awesome.
she's awesome. And so we got on and I just went down a couple things and she's like, that's what I need to hear. That's perfect. She goes, so I'm going to get you on some calls tomorrow. I said, I know you are. You're going to get me on at least 3 calls tomorrow. So I'm expecting 3 calls from her. I'm expecting her to win some strawberry peach out of that. So, and basically what it was just whoever gets me on the first call of the day, a package of strawberry peaches coming their way. Whoever gets me on the most calls throughout the day, another package of strawberry peach. And also start ramping up doing live.
Listen to the little chicks. I'm sorry.
No, that's awesome. That's music to our ears. And
Absolutely.
especially what I wrote down this morning. Like what I wrote down
know.
this morning, and that's like, wow. But doing lives on Keto every day and getting eyeballs on individual people. And you guys notice that's why I've been doing a lot of stuff from the Keto Everyday page, because there's about 2,500 people on there. I don't have 2,500 customers. People have been on there for a long time. I want them to resonate with somebody. It doesn't matter who that is that they resonate with, because if they resonate with you and they get on this amazing product and they start to have a life-changing experience, amen to that, right? Like that's what this platform is for. So jumping on there and just doing some more lives and just adding value. And I know, Mary, you're amazing at this. It's not about, hey, come on and buy ketones. Not about that. It's like, hey, you know, whatever it is, it could be about how important, you know, it was for John yesterday to be able to spend that time with his kids and the times that we're going through, anything. And then start, you know, adding your friends and people like that to that page. And then the likes and comments and shares at the end of 5 days, whoever has the most likes, comments, and shares, you're going to start giving out like, you know, some kind of swag, shaker bottles, things like that, like ring lights, stuff to help you guys with your business, stands, whatever it may be, you know, phone stands, because truly it's really about helping one another, building this thing as a community, uniting together, because the power is in numbers. And when we unite, we become a unbreakable chain, right? You know, we just kind of link arms, we link together, and it's time to do it. And Mary, you know, like me and you have been we've been doing our thing, you know what I mean? And the thing about it is that's amazing, because it's put us to where we're at today.
Absolutely.
Now be even stronger when we link those chains together, right?
Absolutely.
So,
and just a word, I don't know how, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't know how long everybody else has been in it, but you know, it's okay to unplug from time to time. You know, you need that time to just, like that lake. I'm looking at that lake. That's how I love to unplug. I love to unplug and just silence. And my thing is looking up at the heavens and looking at clouds. That's where I unplug. And it's okay to shut down for a few minutes or for a little bit, you know, for a day, you know. And I think we get so busy, we're so focus driven that we're task driven, we're on a mission, and it's like I don't veer off of anything. I mean, there's days where I can't even sleep because I'm too excited about this, and it's just okay, just chill and relax, just let it come to you, you know. And it's the days when you don't do a whole lot is when things happen, you know, and it's just from all that effort you put in from before. So it's okay to unwind and unplug when you need to, you know. Absolutely.
100%. Look,
well, that's important.
You just validated me again. You just validated me again. Be still.
Yeah. You have to. You have to. You have to. And like I said, I was talking to you yesterday. It's in those moments of silence where I ask everything that I want answered. Everything. Doesn't matter what it is. I just ask it. I go to sleep listening to my affirmations. That's the last thing I hear because I want my brain to listen to that before I'm asleep. I wake up with answers and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, this stuff really works. You know, and it's one of those things where I don't know. I'm a sucker for that stuff. I love it. I feed off of that, and it's positive. You know, I don't watch TV. I don't listen to news. I don't. I just need to be around like-minded people who are a whole lot successful than I am, because that's where I can learn from. You know, I want to know what they're doing. I want to see their verbiage. I want to see what they're doing, and not do exactly what they do, but put my flavor to it, because I can't copy somebody and come off genuine as if I'm doing it. It has to be, you know, designed around how I say my things and how I do my things, and just get ideas from everybody and go from there, you know?
I think it's important. You know, you don't want to be a parrot, meaning just regurgitate what everybody else is doing. You got to get your own revelation, you know, get your own insight to something. And that's sometimes, and people sometimes I think will see through that, but also it'll be more real to you if it's an insight or revelation to yourself versus just parody. You know, sometimes you might need to parody a little bit.
Well said. I like that.
while you're trying, when you're trying to change your mindset. But once you get into something, you got to be you. And I think it's important,
Absolutely.
kind of like what you're saying is, learn from different people and then utilize that within your own and make it your own,
Right.
So
Right.
it's important.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's why we do what we do here in the mornings, because like the ones that are on need what they're getting, and the ones that are adding exactly what needs to be added, if that makes sense. I mean,
Absolutely.
that was truly perfect.
Absolutely.
Good morning, Curleen. Curleen has joined the meeting.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, lady. How you doing, beautiful?
Good. How are you guys doing? Sorry, I jumped on late.
You jumped in
Well,
it.
tomorrow it starts at 5 a.m. So
Actually, I'm running a marathon from 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. tomorrow,
Oh, I love that.
so.
Well, you know who'll be up, Vaughn.
I know. I told people last night, I said, listen, I know there's a ton of people up. Do the green light challenge. Go on there, see who's on Facebook, and share this out to them right now, because everybody needs positivity. This is like 2 hours.
Oh, my God. It's too funny.
That's amazing.
I love this.
Yeah, this
You
is
need to have positive, and this whole world is full of just fear. I can't. I need, like you were saying, we're the beacons to some of these people. It's not. I'm not dragging any negative anything. I can't. Not acceptable. Not acceptable.
no room for negativity.
No, not a one.
It's all positivity, and especially in a time like now, right? Especially
Absolutely.
in unprecedented time, things that nobody's ever seen before. And there's a lot of scared people out there. There's a lot of people that don't know, and anxiety sets in, and that's one of the main reasons that people need our product. To be completely honest with you, it's helped me with my anxiousness, and obviously, devoting my life and putting everything back in Jesus Christ's hands is another part of that, portion. But I even now, sometimes if I miss some ketones, which isn't very often, but if I don't drink it, I can feel my anxiety levels kind of coming up a little bit. Where I'm like, that normally doesn't bother me. Why is that happening? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to drink my ketones. I drank it, and it brings me right back to that spot.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, in the times that we're in, everybody needs what we have. Everybody needs it anyways, but now is important that they have it. It helped level them out and bring them to where they need to be. And again, it's just about serving others. And one thing I was mentioning last night in there is the one thing that we should practice on saying and doing it. And like I say, waking up with gratitude and those kind of things are very important, because the more you say it, the more you do it, the more you live it, right? So if we start adding into our sentences each day, hey, how can I better serve you? How can I better serve you? How can I better serve you? And even if you don't know what that means right away, you'll start to live it. So, at the end of everything, a message I send or anything like that, it's just, hey, let us know how we can better serve you. Let us know how I can serve you. And I was mentioning last night, I think people say that, but they don't know what that means. And I say, serving can be in many, many different ways. It doesn't mean you personally have to do something for somebody. But I said, there's a bunch of storms that came up and hit South Carolina and all those areas up there. And if somebody reached out to me and said, hey, I saw, how can you serve me? And we're going through tough times up here. I don't have any power right now. I don't have any I don't have any food to feed my kids and things like that. Obviously I would pray for them, number one. Number two, I wouldn't drive a low carb sandwich to South Carolina to bring them some food, right? But we all have resources. So I could get on my social media and say, hey, who do I know in South Carolina? And Tom might say, hey, I'm in South Carolina. I'm like, oh, cool. How far are you from here? Hey, this lady's really needs some help right now. You think you can shoot over there? So it's about using, again, I say uniting and coming together. It's not about you personally having to do something for somebody, but you can be the direction for somebody. Right? You can shoot them in the right direction. They may not know right around the corner that they have a food pantry they can go to and get what they need, right? And, but hey, you didn't know, you got this resource over here that you can use. So I don't have to physically go to South Carolina to serve somebody, right? Serving can
Absolutely.
be in many, many different ways. So if we just continue to add that in there every day, hey, how can I better serve you? Pretty soon, even if you don't know what that means, you'll start to do it because it's here. It's like any kind of professional sport. If you're on the foul line, you shoot millions of baskets before you become a professional, right? Because you're building a muscle. So if you're doing that and you're putting it in here, you build it, you build it, you build it, you build it, and they will come, right? So
Absolutely.
that's what I'm working on anyways. And listen, we're always a work in progress. I don't say what I say because I'm the best at it. I say what I say because those are normally things I need to work on too, right? So it's like a sponsor in AA is there for a reason. It's not only to serve others, it's to serve themselves because they need accountability.
Absolutely.
So normally what they're speaking is coming from the inside. And it's the same thing. Normally when I'm speaking it, it's things that I'm working on through the process too, So all that to say, I want you guys to open up. Like, tell me some victories. Tell me where you're at. Tell me what you need. Tell me how I can better serve you, right? Like, what do you guys got?
Well, Vaughn, there's a lot of, what you're saying there. There's a lot of power in what you say and what you create. And obviously, since we're believers and Christians and stuff, that's biblical. There's power in your words, and you create by what you say and what you think about. And obviously, it starts with your mind. And you're thinking about something before you say something. So, the word talks about that, whatever you think about, comes about. But then also there's power in your words, power in your confessions. So in essence of creating what, you want to be by saying that. So, being intentional about what you're saying and what you want to create, who you want to be is very powerful. So.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. And jumping on that, you say what you feel. When you speak from your heart, it just comes out. There's no sugarcoating, there's no faking it, there's no script. It is what it is, and I think because we're all like-minded and we have strong faiths, we're in better places mentally than a whole lot of people are at this point, and somebody once told me people are going to learn about God through you, and I had no idea what they were talking about at the moment because I didn't even see it myself, and here I am remembering this lady. I can't even remember her name, but I remember her telling me this was 2 years ago. And it's like, you gotta have faith. If you don't have faith in something, I'm not here to tell you which religion, which thing to do. Have faith in something bigger than yourself, because, we're not in control. We're absolutely not in control. And it's just, we just got to keep doing what we do, believe in what we're doing and speak from our heart. And that's it. People will resonate with that. People will see that, we're not salesmen. I'm not, I'm just here sharing experiences, and people will listen to whatever we have to say. And not everybody is ready to hear what you have to say, and just continue to move on. That's all you can do. We can't change people. We can only offer the information, and they'll take with it how they will. And that should not derail us to continue doing what we're doing. We just keep going. And the right people will hear what we have to say. And the people that need to be with us will be led to us, and that's just how it is. So,
part of my prayer every morning, and you heard it a little bit earlier, like, God, put the ones in front of us and need us the most. That's what that
absolutely.
means. Like, the ones that need us are going to jump on those lives that we do. The ones that need us are going to be there. They're going to find us, right? He's going to put them in our path. And then it's up to us. And I said this from day one when I started this 3.5 years ago. I found out very shortly into this as I was going around early on and doing tables everywhere. Like, we went to Atlanta, we went on a tour doing tables, and I soon realized, and they got a picture of me at one of the tables in Atlanta, and I was just leaned up against a wall because it was between, workouts and stuff, and they were working out, so we didn't have much to do. And I was just reading the Bible, and he caught the picture and showed me the picture later on. I'm like, man, there it is. Like, what this truly is a platform to share in front of many, many people on not just this amazing product, but who I am, who my faith is, right? Like who my belief is in, and I tell people all the time, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what works for me. And like I said last night, a lot of people are reading books right now. A lot of people are reading Outwitting the Devil, the Energy Bus, and all that. Those are great things, right? And I think there's a lot of time. And I'm not telling you need to choose a religion, because there's a difference between relationship and religion. And
Amen.
one of the books you should really start to pick up is this right here, and just get into the word a little bit. See if it resonates with you. Find out what's inside of here. Don't be fearful of it. Open it up and see what it has for you.
Absolutely.
And for me, early on, I kind of knew the product was handed to me for a different reason, and this being part of that reason. And I think you see a lot of that right now. I don't know if it's just because it's where your focus goes, your energy flows. But right now, when I'm hearing a lot of in the Rise Up Challenge and things like that, which is a big, huge network marketing thing with tons of awesome people in there. If you're not in there, Elizabeth, should check that out. The Rise Up Challenge, it's awesome.
Ron, are they going to reset that? Because I know it's a 30-day, and a lot of people are coming in the middle. Are they going to just repeat it, or when it's over, are they going to pull down the content, or what's the deal with that?
So you can kind of purchase the content, if you will. Like, everything's free right now. You can come in and do it, but then they also have like a gold, platinum, and whatever content.
Yeah.
So like John Maxwell came on and spoke for an hour and a half the other day. I've been able to capture some of that content to have it, and I'll post some of that, and I already have, and Danielle is great at that, like posting that throughout the Business Builders page. So when you go on there, you'll see, I think the John Maxwell speech is on there, so we'll have a lot of that stuff. But I'm not sure how they're going to do it. I would assume they're going to, there's over 40,000 people in there. But what gets me a lot in there is like they talking a ton about faith, a ton about servant mentality, a ton about that. Like, this is where we're at in this point in time right now. And that resonates with me. When I hear that, I'm like, wow, that's powerful.
Well, the guy who started it is a believer, and he operates in a lot of different Christian circles and stuff, and that's how I know about him. And so it's pretty cool that obviously, I guess from my worldview, if your faith isn't in Christ, that's where the hope is. I mean, there's hope, but in the end faith is in Christ, or for me it is. And and I'm like, man, I don't know, if I didn't have faith in my relationship with God and Christ, man, I'd be depressing. That's just me.
No, and
absolutely.
A lot of people are in that moment, right? And they don't know how to get out of it. And that's why if we can just lead them, and we don't have to be the ones to walk them in the church door, right?
Right.
All we have to be is the one that cracks the door open. So like with what I shared last night, maybe just visually somebody seeing the Bible and me talking about it may not have done anything for them last night. But now later, somebody else may come touch on them a little bit with kind of the same subject, and it might resonate again a little bit more. Like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Like, you can take him, but you can't have him do it. It may be Danielle that comes around and says to the horse, hey, you need to drink this water because you're at the lake. And now all of a sudden the horse drinks. So it's just us to be the beacon of light, like I keep saying, and like, hey, here it is.
And it may not even be at that moment that it hits them. They may be doing something a day later, 2 days later. Oh, I remember Yvonne said this, or I remember, it kicks in. People are watching. People are watching us and not even commenting or posting. And those people are the ones that will come to you a year later and tell you, I've been doing everything you've been telling me, and I've lost 90 pounds. It's like, where have you been this entire time, woman? I would love to have spoken to you, but you're speaking to them through your videos, through your posts, and not even knowing it. So that's the one thing I'll always remember you for, Ron, is telling me what you told me, keep posting. It's like, I don't want to post. I'm coming off as arrogant, and I don't want to do this. And it was not about me. It's for those people who don't post, for those people who are watching and pretty much in tune to everything you have to say. And so it's important. We just got to keep doing. More people are listening to us than we think. There's a whole lot more people listening to us.
Especially now, everybody's home on their phones and there's computers all day long.
Now we have their undivided attention. Now they kind of have to hear what we have to say. That's awesome.
And that resonates that you say that, though, Elizabeth, because that's the one thing I've always said, and even from the beginning when me and you met on social media, I never came at you and said anything about ketones. I was truly there because I was encouraging you, because you were encouraging me. You had a great journey. Your story was amazing. You started with the diet, all this stuff was going on, and I just kept encouraging you to keep sharing. And you know, well, everybody's already seen my picture, and I'm like, no, 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 you don't understand. Not everybody's seen your picture, and you know, your journey is going to continue to inspire others all the way throughout. So never stop sharing your story because your story matters, and the ones that need it want to see it. And that's why I say that all the time. And you know, it's truly also to help growth in yourself, because when you share your story and your journey, you continue to grow through the process. So thank you for saying that. But like I said, and even we were talking the other day on the live in the interview, you know, I mean, you came to me and asked me about the product because, you know, you saw a little bit about what I was doing. You said, hey, look, I hit a stall. What's this drink you have? Right. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, you opened the door. I wasn't, you know, and that was months down the road. You know what I mean? I didn't come at you. And I think a lot of people join groups for the wrong reasons. They join a group to go in there to try to sell a product. That's not really what it's about. It's to go in there to encourage others to do more, and just be the best version of who God created them to be. And then you encourage them to continue to do that. And through that process, the relationship is building, and they're watching you no matter what. So you may think that they've never went to your page, but 99% of the time, curiosity gets the cat, right? They're going to go check you out, and they're seeing what you're doing. And if you're on there and you look like you're trying to sell everybody, and listen, everybody has different ways, but I just know for me, this is how it's authenticity. Like, I'm truly not here. I mean, we need the money to help others, right? But I'm truly not here to be like, I need to. That's why the vision board's hard for me. That's why different things are hard for me. But that's why we got to grow through those processes, because I know as I grow, I will be able to receive more. And as I can receive more, I can give more. You know, we can start to do things in different countries and help people that don't have the on today, the things that I'm grateful for, you know, the amazing views that JP is looking at right now. There's people around the world that don't have that. And if we can be the light and have something to be able to go help them be a little bit better and be happier each day, to me, that's what resonates.
Absolutely. 100%. Agreed. God, that's gorgeous. I miss my sunrises on at Lake Worth Beach.
Yeah. Where do you live now?
I'm in LaBelle, so I'm in country. I go from the city to the LaBelle, Florida, which is 2 hours away from West Palm Beach and about 30 miles from east of Fort Myers.
So Elizabeth,
so you're towards the middle of the state, huh?
Yeah. Elizabeth's been.
What were you thinking?
Hey,
I'm just playing.
Don't tell him anymore. You've already piqued his interest. Now go watch the live.
LaBelle, Florida.
All I have to say is I have a tattoo that says Gypsy Soul, and that's that.
I tell you what, I can tell you this, that's new, right? Because 2 years ago, I don't think it was always that way, right? You know, as far as it might have been in your soul, but you weren't living it, you know, and like, she has an amazing story, amazing journey. And we did a powerful live with Keto every day, and it's been shared out to a couple of different spots, but her story is amazing. It truly is.
Cool.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna
it's funny how life changes.
When we plug back in tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a quiz on Elizabeth's journey for everybody. So you better go watch it today.
That's too funny. Too funny. Life is good. I have no complaints. Not a single one.
So my outcome today.
I just started living my life, Vaughn.
Yeah.
What's that?
You do. Like we say, and then Dustin has a thing out there now. He talks about the second half of your life. And he talks to people, you know, that are over 40. I don't know how that puts me in the second part of life, but yeah. And I'm like, and I start scratching my head and I think, should I be on that call? Should I be listening?
Oh my gosh.
I think we should listen to everything and pull out of everything what we need, right? And what resonates. But I think my outcome for today is for each and every one of you to find the spots in your day to be able to fit your Prove It business. And I know that can be hard sometimes, Like I know I see John, he's at work right now, and you know, we all have other things going on in life. But the one thing that's helped me, especially even now that I do this full time, but prior to being full time, is finding out like how much time that you think you'll have in a day and where you can fit it in. Right? If it's 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, if it's going on and making a post, how are you going to do it? Just kind of having a guideline and an outline of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and stay to that outline. Because even if you only have 5 minutes a day, as long as you take that and you make it the best 5 minutes and you don't get lost in some kind of scroll on social media, it can be the 5 minutes that you needed. And that may have been all you needed, right? So, you know, my outcome would be for you guys to continue to always allow me to serve you in every way possible, and be like, hey, I need help here. Like I got it at 3 o'clock, I'm going to have 20 minutes to be able to do this. You know, how do you think my time would be best spent? And then let's talk about it, right? Like, hey, you know, I think maybe you should go on and you should go down your Facebook feed and you should unfriend, you know, 15 people that are on there that just are fake accounts, because now what you're doing is you're breaking the algorithm. You're able to open up some other things. Maybe you should go on there and add a few new friends. And as you add those new friends, put them to see first. So now you can see what they're doing. Open up a line of conversation with them through Messenger just by saying, hey, it looks like we have some friends in common. I might know you from somewhere. You look familiar. I'm just not sure where. And leave it at that. Like, that opens up the line of communication. Now they come back. Now they see you seeing their post. You're liking some of their stuff. You're commenting on some of their stuff. Authenticity, right? Like, you're doing it, you know, because you really want to. And then it leads to relationships, you know? So you can take 20 minutes out of your day to do simple things like that, compartmentalize it, break it down, and they can be the most powerful 20 minutes of your day. It just determines on how you utilize those 20 minutes, because we all have the same 24 hours, but am I utilizing them the way I should be utilizing them, right?
Yeah, I like that. And I think I got caught up in doing busy, but not being productive. Two big differences, you know, and I think that's where I got caught up a while ago. And in the end is, what did I do? Yeah. All about nothing, just not about nothing, but it wasn't productive, you know,
well,
yeah, no, I like
to go down that tunnel real quick. Well, that's why they say 80% of your time should be prospecting or doing things or building your business, and then 20% is managing those processes.
Yes.
So what I think
and
about,
that's where
like,
I have
really
to flip that switch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, when I'm really in business mode, I'm constantly thinking, am I what I'm doing now? Is it making things pretty, or am I talking to someone? Am I prospecting? Am I building a relationship with someone that potentially could lead to either changing their lives, or being a customer, or being a business builder, or things of that sort? And, you know, I used to make a note and put it on my computer monitor, you know, 80%. And I would always just look at that, like, okay. And I'm like, I'm saying it's easy to start, you know, looking at social media, and next thing you know, you slew 30 minutes where I could have called someone, or could have emailed someone, or did something that's in the prospecting category, versus the 20% of managing those activities or other things.
Yeah. No, and I think that's the switch I have to flip in my head. The words prospecting and stuff, to me, just, you know, I don't know. I need to get over that, you know.
Or you can change it to blessing. A friend of mine, one of my friends, let me bless you with my card. Let me bless you with this business. How can I bless you today? And he had thousands and thousands and thousands of people on his team. And he was a believer too, and he was just awesome. But, you know, he's like, he would always say to people, hey, let me bless you with my card. How can I bless you today? Or, you know, this business has really blessed me. You know, I share it with you.
I love that.
He took the traditional word of prospecting out and put blessing, and I kind of like that too. So
I love that. I'm writing it down as we speak. I'm going to start saying that, because I don't know. I don't want to be that salesman. I never have been, you know, and it doesn't even reflect on anything I do. And I want to keep it that way. I'm more of a building relationships with people. And I think at this point, my integrity means everything, you know, and my word means everything. And I think I've developed relationships with a lot of people who've been following me. And I love that, you know, that's going to be longer lasting than any quick sale ever will be, you know. And I think they're at the point where if I recommend or suggest something, they'll do it,
no questions asked. And it's not to do it for that reason, but that's the point of where it is now. That's where this relationship is that I've been working on with these people for the past 2 years, and it's now they're starting to ask, okay, are you still doing that thing? Or can you send me some information or whatever? And so they know I do it. And when they're ready, they'll come. I don't like forcing it on anybody, but I love this blessing. Oh my gosh. Thank you, man. I love it.
What you've been doing is the build up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Building relationships. You've been doing what you're supposed to be doing. You've been serving others. You've been adding value. You know what I mean? And the one thing we always have to remember in that, because I'm the same way, one thing we have to remember is what we have in our hands is that powerful, is life changing. Like sometimes we get caught up and we don't know what we don't know because we've drank it for so long. We're like, are we still feeling it? So the power in what we're doing right now and reigniting each other's fire to understand what we have is real. They're looking at this to put it into IV drips for people in hospitals right now because of inflammation around the hearts and things like that. So what we have is life-saving, in different ways. We obviously can't go on and make medical claims like that, but it goes on in all the stories you've been hearing. If you go back and watch the ones that we've been doing, you'll notice one thing in each one of those, lives that I've been doing. People's mood has changed. They say, I'm just happier. I'm just happier. I'm just happier. Like if that's all you can do for somebody is give them a product that just makes them happier, like you just made them a better version of themselves. And that's the beauty that we have to really always anchor down to. Like what we have is like no other product out there. What we have isn't a protein shake. What we have isn't just something that's on the shelf like, hey, this is a product that's changing people's lives on a daily basis. And we have to remember that. And that's the power of it. And I love what JP said, because I'm going to use that too, right? Like, hey, let me bless you with this opportunity.
I love that.
I absolutely because honestly, some people need a little push. They need a little boldness because they receive that differently. Obviously, it goes back to knowing personality. And obviously, as you get to know people, obviously, building a relationship is key. I totally get that. But it comes to the point sometimes some people need you to push them a little bit.
Absolutely.
They need someone to inspire them to say, hey, you need this, dude. Let's go. But you got, but you learn that through once you get to know someone a little bit better, then you can kind of know, do I need to just drip them on them, or do I need to push them a little bit, or not really push, inspire them a little bit to where, hey, you need to make a decision. This could change your life, and you're holding off potentially how you could feel, or you're holding off on what you potentially could do. Let's do it together, kind of. And, I would just encourage you, don't be too hard on yourself. If this has really changed your life, people need to know it. And you need to be in some cases maybe be a little bold about it. Right. You don't always have to be. I mean, I like being more indirect. Build like kind of like what you're doing, building relationships and all that. I think that's great, but just don't be hard on yourself, because I think you're overthinking it. I think your motives are right, and in the end, that's what matters. Like if your motives are right, it doesn't matter if you hard close them or not, because your motives are right. But if your motives are wrong, like the sleazy sales dude, then then a hard close is not right. But you're not really closing them to sell a drink. You're closing them to help change their life. And there's a difference.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
nicely put.
And we're all growing, right? We're all growing through the process. So we're all learning. And that's one thing we always got to keep in mind and keep in the forefront. Even this right here, I feel like this Zoom has been one of the most powerful plug-in to positivities that we've done so far, because, there's power in everything that everybody's saying here. And the biggest part that I've taken away so far right now is be careful, because your verbiage matters.
Absolutely.
Your verbiage is key. So like what he said in the very beginning turned you off when he said prospecting. But when he changed prospecting to blessing, like it just made a 180-degree shift.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's only a 1-degree shift that can change everything in your life. So when he changed that one word and he took it out, so I've been very cognitive in trying to understand that too, because I'm not a pushy sales kind of guy either. But it also being a leader and growing into leadership, as I'm doing too at this particular point in time, I understand the power behind being directive to people, because sometimes I like to fluff it up and be like, oh, it's okay, baby, you know, like do this. No, sometimes people need to be coached in a way. It's like, hey, we're going to go here, and at the fork in the road, we're going to make a right, and then we're going to go to the canal, we're going to make a left, and we're going to be at our destination. Not, hey, if you want to make a left up there, go ahead, and then I'll meet you around the corner. Right? Like, no, I have the direction. I know which way we're going. And if you want to win, follow me. And that's what we're going to do. Right. And sometimes I'm learning that through the process. Like,
that's what's called leading. You're leading someone.
Sure.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow. Damn. This is some good shit right here. I'm sorry the sailor came out of me. It just does from time to time. I never used to cuss in my life. I love keto.
No worries. We've got you fired up enough. Now you're cursing. I guess that's a good thing.
I'll be cursing like a sailor. Watch out.
Oh, Lord. That's funny.
Again, though, like, it comes down to that verbiage, right? Like, there's no right or wrong way, but like things rub off on certain people different ways. So it's all very, you know, be mindful of, and I always say this too, like, be yourself, be authentic, but be a chameleon.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Know where you're at in life. Know who you're dealing with. Know who you're talking to.
And there's got to be a baseline that you go by, because in the end you can't be liked by everybody, you know, because honestly, there's certain people who say, hey, let me bless you in my business. Just saying the word bless will offend them, which is ridiculous, but some people are just that sensitive.
Very true.
And to me, if that offends you, then you're not meant to be in my business. I don't care.
Absolutely.
You know, so there is something to be a chameleon for sure. I totally agree with that, but also just know in the back of your head that you can't win everybody over. Not everybody is going to accept it. And you know, like, you know, the verbiage is definitely huge, but in the end, like Vaughn was saying, just be yourself and stay true to that, and then just have a boldness about it. Hey, this is who I am. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going. I'd love to have you join me, but if now's not the time, then fine. And then we kind of move on, and then obviously grip on them, but don't worry so much about offending, but be yourself, but obviously be conscious about the words you're saying, of course.
Right. I love it. No, I love it. Absolutely effing love it.
There you go, see? I love it.
We just turned it up a notch.
Exactly. We turned it up a notch, but then we tuned it right back down because the whole word didn't come out. So she was very cognizant of what she was saying. She knew what she needed to say and wanted to say because there's power behind it, but she shortened it up a little bit. She's like, hey, this is the right way. Watch.
I'm a quick study.
There you go. That's funny.
Amazing.
Oh,
man, I got to jump on another call, but I do appreciate you guys, and thank you from the bottom of my heart, because this is super, super powerful. And show up as much as you guys can. I think there was a ton of value out of this morning. Again, the outcome, find out where you can prove it into your business, into your life, and how you can make it the best few minutes or best hours out of your day. And that's why this is powerful. Let's hold each other accountable. Let's build each other up. Let's use the Keto Everyday platform for each and every one of us to you know, build an empire to help others. I wouldn't even call it an empire. I would call it, you know, use the Keto Everyday, use the Keto Everyday platform to bless others and build God's kingdom. How about that? Like, that's really what this is about. So Keto Everyday is the juice to help build God's kingdom. That's what I'm going to say. You know, so.
Preach it, Vaughn. Preach it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Ooh.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Tomorrow morning, same time. We'll do it Monday through Friday. And if we need to start doing it more, however it is, like, I appreciate you, JP, for showing up. Powerful stuff this morning. Thank you for the view. Thank you for the birds chirping. Elizabeth, Carlene, John, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for being present. Love each and every one of you guys. And let's rock this. Let's change people's lives.
Thank you so much. I love you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the amazing words. Bless you guys.
Take care. Thank you for today.
Bye.